After the absolute drama in the Carabao Cup semi-final, Gregg Popovich has had one word for his team: response. It's all about the performance here at Craven Cottage, with highlights from Fulham against Manchester United as we return to the Premier League. Well, it has been a crazy few days for Manchester United internally after just scraping through to the Carabao Cup final by the skin of their teeth in the end, in what Gregg Popovich called an unmitigated disaster despite the win. There is no doubt that even though his team won on the night, he admits that the team played ever so poorly, and he wants a response this evening against Fulham to kind of send a message that the chink in the armour will not go forward for the rest of the season. Well, goals for top scoring teams by a long way. Manchester United almost 50 more than Liverpool, sitting on currently 86, and I think that has been the mantra for Manchester United this season. It has rather been the goals scored, the amount that they have scored, rather than anything kind of tactical or defensive masterclass. They've not really shown that this season, that's for sure. And Gregg Popovich has addressed it with the signing of Manchester United, but conceding goals is a problem. And Gregg Popovich did admit that his team were lucky on that night not to be eliminated. Well, for Fulham today, Arola will start in goal with Tente, Anderson, Ream and Colago in the four-man defence. Aguina is with Lima, and Todd Chambers with Oma and Dikova Reed. It's Camera up top by himself today. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, on loan, I believe, from Chelsea, makes the bench. David Gea is back in goal for tonight. Aaron Wan-Bissaka with Dilligit by Luke Shaw. It's Dan James with Bruno Fernandes, Aaron Hill and Anthony Martial playing on the left today. Mr. Greenwood is up top with Sané Plea, as many of the likes of Rashford and even many of the Carabao Cup team have dropped out of the squad completely. Well, that's probably to be expected. No Dean Henderson at all, well, he was probably the one that caused the most buzz on that night. He was substituted in the second half for Sergio Romero, and substituting a goalkeeper rarely happens, but Gregg Popovich had seen more than enough to warrant taking him off, and to a degree it worked, as Manchester United were able to go on and win. And Popovich said it. He said, look at the difference and you'll see why I did what I did. Gregg Popovich can be ruthless when he needs to be, and that's what you need to do as a manager in the top flight. And it's fair to say that Popovich was not happy with the Carabao Cup performance. They may have won on the night, but Popovich says we deserve to lose because the first half performance was woeful, and it was, to be fair. There's Martial playing left today, and James sends a goal. Dan James scores again. Dan James, where has he come from? He only scored 3 goals last season for Coach Popovich, and now he's banging them in. Great cross from Martial of all people. Dan James was left with it. Acre of space he needed. It's a good header. And it's 1-0. And the keeper's never getting to that in a million years. A great header from Dan James. And Manchester United look to respond, and they've done well so far. Dan James' 5th goal in the Premier League this season, already more than double what he got last. Scored on his debut, don't forget, and then couldn't buy a goal for many times after that. Under Coach Popovich this season, he's thriving. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1. And Dilligit gathers it, and that is the end of the first half. And it's back to business as usual for Manchester United, but only the 1 goal so far. Fulham have definitely performed better in this one thus far. Dan James with the only goal in the game. Aside from that, very much business as usual. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1 at the break. If keeping United scorers out, in particular Mason Greenwood. He shoots, And it could be the handball, and it is. Penalty given. And I think that was rather clear cut, to be fair. It's another penalty for Manchester United. They're getting a lot of these now. And I think, yeah, that's the clearest handball this season, I think. Well, Bruno Fernandes, he missed his last one. Or I think he missed his first one in a match where he had 2 penalties and scored the second. Let's see what he does here. Oh, he's going to miss it. The inconsistency of Bruno Fernandes from the penalty spot this season. It's not really going to matter if Manchester United do get wins from here. Great tackle. Play. Cavani. Now play. And it's in. 2-0. Another goal for Alassane Plea. He's doing the business at United, isn't he? 2-0 to Manchester United. It's much more like it this evening. Well, they followed up probably their worst performance of the season with undoubtedly one of their best. Alassane Plea gets another Premier League goal, and he's thriving in a Manchester United shirt. What an inspired signing by Coach Popovich. Just to bang more goals in for his team, really. Well, that man was not happy with the performance of his team against Arsenal, but he'll be much more happy today. Defensive masterclass, 2 goals to go along with it. It's not the route, but it'll more than do. Fulham 0, Manchester United 2. As we enter the added on time, which is 5 minutes. Well, it was not the best against Arsenal last time out. Popovich admitted that. And he's come back today with a convincing win in the performance department. In probably their best performance of the season. Manchester United win here by 2 goals to 0. Wiping the momentum that everyone thought they would have gained. Popovich got exactly what he wanted out of his players. Commanding defensive performance by Matic Deligic, who probably gets man of the match for me. Alassane Plea and Dan James getting the 2 goals. But today, it was about the performance. Convincing and title winning. Fulham 0, United at 2. And they are back, for sure. Let's hope they can keep it up. So as we'll have a look at all the final scores from the final week of January going into February and what that means to the Premier League table. And we've already seen the match at Craven Cottage for Fulham and Manchester United, where they won. Manchester United won by 2 goals to 0. Ryan Mason has another decent win at Spurs, really staking a claim for the position next season as their head coach. 4-0 against West Brom in the end. Crystal Palace and Wolves ended in a 1-1 stalemate, which keeps the fight for 4th really interesting. And even more than that, Leicester City won against Aston Villa at Villa Park. And, well, the most interesting battle is definitely for 4th at the moment. Southampton, West Ham finishing 1-1. That's the same situation at Chelsea and Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Leeds have hit a road bump in their fight to survive. Brighton beating them by 2 goals to 1. And that was the same score for Newcastle against Burnley. The champions Liverpool keeping pressure on Manchester United by winning 3-0 at Manchester City. Everton 2, Sheffield United 0 was the final score in the month of January. So, the Premier League table is as it has been for a few weeks now. Still a 7-point lead between Manchester United and Liverpool, and Spurs a further 2 points behind. It really is looking like United's title to lose now, and only a catastrophe would stop them at this point. Wolves go back into 4th with Leicester City and Manchester City right on their heels. Like we said, that's probably the most interesting battle of the season. But from footage of Newcastle, Chelsea and Arsenal, it looks like their Champions League dreams could effectively be over. Looking at the gap, it is 11 points between Wolves in 4th and Arsenal in 9th at the moment. West Ham completing the top 10, followed by Everton, who climbed to 11th, I believe. Burnley, West Brom, Fulham, despite losing, are still relatively safe. Southampton, Brighton and Aston Villa completing the safe zone. Aston Villa starting to drop into the relegation scrap a little bit. The loss for Leeds has dented that a little bit though. Crystal Palace still down there. They've been down there for a while. And Sheffield United, who were probably on the verge of trying to get out of the relegation zone, they're now dropped to the bottom club with Leeds' rise through the ranks. And things for Sheffield United don't seem to be getting any better at the moment. The gap between them and safety is a staggering 13 points, with games rapidly running out.